Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Glover, and I'll be your guide through the 2018 city election in Toronto and across the GTA. We are coming at you live on social media like never before. We are broadcasting on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on our website as well. And you're probably used to seeing me live at our studios on Front Street, but tonight we are broadcasting live from Twitter headquarters, which will put us in a unique position to be able to analyze what's happening tonight, the conversation that happens tonight in real time like no one else can. So we want you to be a part of our coverage tonight. We want you to log on, be a part of this, pose questions, post comments. We can even get some of those comments and questions to the candidates who are out in the communities, because we have reporters all across the city, and we're also, of course, going to be focusing on the results tonight, the hits, the misses, and everything in between. So strap in and follow along with us, but please definitely do engage with us as well. So since we are here at Twitter Canada, let's bring in Twitter Canada representative tonight, Christopher Doyle. Christopher, thank you so much for having us here. Appreciate that. And for being a part of our coverage tonight. You've been crunching the numbers for this election over the past few weeks. And one thing is very clear when you see what happens online, and that is that John Tory has a whole lot of social action. One thing that we are going to be following very closely tonight, in addition to the conversation online, of course, is also the results. And one race here in the city of Toronto is catching a lot of attention. Of course, that's the Toronto mayoral race, and John Tory seeking re-election tonight. I want to introduce you now to Lauren Pelly, our City Hall reporter. You probably know Lauren's face quite well. She's always talking about this kind of stuff. And tonight she is at John Tory's campaign headquarters, which is at the Sheridan, just across the street from City Hall. And Lauren, I know that space well. It is a big space, and I bet that signals that John Tory expects to be having a big party tonight. And those polls are closing in just about 5 minutes from now. That is when things will really get started. And the one man who is looking to see all of this more than most is John Tory himself. We can take you now to where he is viewing this live himself. He's obviously surrounded by quite a few people. You can see him there. He is just in one of the hotel rooms at the Sheridan, and hoping that he will be going downstairs to a very large party, and he is hoping that it will be a victory party as well. Now, another person who is hoping to have a victory party tonight in this mayoral election is Jennifer Keesmaat. You've heard her name already a couple times tonight. Jennifer Keesmaat is, in fact, just a few clicks down the road on Queen Street. She's having her party there, and our Lisa Shing is following that part of the story tonight. Lisa, the campaign has been a long one. It's been a tough one, I bet. How are people at Jennifer Keesmaat's feeling? Now, here in Toronto, we did not expect a nail-biter, and you can see at the bottom of your screen that is certainly what we are experiencing right now, with 80% of the polls reporting so far John Tory with an astounding lead there of 63% support. Jennifer Keesmaat down around 23%. That would be a disappointing finish for her with that low of a number. But John Tory around 63%. That would be a huge number for him, well more than he got in 2014 with around 40% of the vote. Let's bring Lauren Pelly back in now. Hey, Lauren, I'm sure people in that room are starting to see these numbers as we are. How are they reacting? And with about 80% of the polls reporting and an astounding lead, we can now say that John Tory is projected to be the next mayor of the city of Toronto. This is certainly not going to be of much surprise to a lot of people, though, of course, it is a very important announcement to be making. But CBC has seen enough of the results to confidently say that John Tory is set to be the next mayor of the city of Toronto, first elected back in 2014 and never really stopped campaigning after that in his time in office. It will be interesting to see how he handles things now that we can tell you that he is heading back to City Hall to be the mayor of the city of Toronto once again. We also will, of course, be checking back in with his campaign headquarters when we can, because we'll want to see how that party evolves over the course of the night. And as I was mentioning earlier, the mayoral race may have looked like a bit of a foregone conclusion. And when we look at the numbers tonight, with around 63% of the support, that's certainly not a record-breaking number, as you heard Lauren saying, but it's definitely a big win for John Tory and one that he will be very happy with. Now, Jennifer Keesmaat, on the other hand, you can see her vote sort of collapsed there with only around 23% support. She will not be very happy with that result tonight necessarily, especially because she had been polling around 30% support throughout this campaign. So not even able to reach that point tonight. But John Tory, as I've been saying, around 63% support. And while we figure out exactly where we're going to go next in our coverage, I just want to read out to you one tweet that we just got from someone. It says from @Wonders, more support to stop the root causes of guns and gang violence, poverty, isolation, racism, trauma, and lack of affordable housing, mentorships, decent jobs, community space, education, etc. So that was in response to our Twitter poll, obviously, which was what brought you out to vote. And it sounds like almost everything brought that Twitter user out to vote, but at least he did vote. And so as we've been talking, we have that Twitter poll going. We also have many others that we will be programming for you throughout the night. So please do engage with us. This conversation is, of course, all about you tonight. And while we're doing the conversation online, we're also out in the community talking with people as well. That's where we have our Talia Ricci, and she is tapping into that conversation with some voters there at a party at the Gladstone Hotel. So, Talia, what are people saying now that we have projected that John Tory will be the next mayor of the City of Toronto? And a very tight battle in Brampton. Here in the City of Toronto, that is not what we saw. We didn't expect to see a tight battle, and we didn't at the end of the day, with John Tory getting a resounding victory and heading back to City Hall as the mayor of the City of Toronto. A big night for him. He said it right off the top of his victory speech. Quite a night, and certainly it was for him. I also feel like this was quite a night. Thank you for being a part of our special election coverage on all of the social media platforms that we brought it on to you, and also with our little vertical video experiment. Hopefully it was accessible on your phone, because that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted you to be able to take this wherever you needed to go, but stay connected with your city and stay connected with these results. So thank you for being a part of this night with us. We appreciate it, and we hope that you tune in at 11 o'clock as Dwight Drummond and Mike Wise are going to take a full recap of everything that has gone on throughout the course of this night, not just in the City of Toronto, but across the GTA. So tune in to CBC Television at 11 o'clock to see those two in action. That's it for us tonight, though, from Twitter headquarters. It's been a great night. Have a good one.